Let's talk about numbers now, Vinay. In terms of what you're being able to do on revenue, what you're being able to do on yields, and what you're being able to do on costs. If I were to look at your FY23 performance, FY24, your numbers are yet to be disclosed. Have losses come down, and do you have a path to profitability that you can share with us?
Yeah, I think the answer to both is yes. So to give you a number, our EBITDA margins improved by over 30 points, which is very significant. And so losses for early stage companies, not just airlines, but early stage companies are not surprising. And so we will have losses, but our margins continue to...
But are they sustainable? Not surprising, but are they sustainable is the question.
Well, for us, we don't plan on sustaining them, right? You asked about a path to profitability. So as we continue to expand, and with the expansion and with the evolution of our network, our cost structures get much more competitive. And then as the brand gets known, as we start taking more corporate consumers, as we expand internationally, as our revenues get better. And so the plan absolutely is to be profitable here, and to be profitable here amongst one of the fastest companies or airlines that will turn to profitability. We're not going to put timelines on that, Shereen.
But would it be fair, to draw comparisons with Indigo? I mean, that's been around for 18 years now, but they turned profitable around the 4th year. Would that be a realistic time frame for Akasa?
Again, I wouldn't want to put time frames on that, but let's take two pieces of what I've said. So the one part I've said is we've got a path to profitability. The other part I've said is that our path to profitability is going to be on par with the finest companies in the world, not just the finest airlines, right? And so you can draw a parallel to any of the other top-notch companies in terms of our path to profitability, because we've got this really solid financial foundation that we've built.
Well, speaking of that financial foundation, I want to understand from you, what more can you do to aid revenues? What do you see as being the big revenue drivers? Of course, going international, as you mentioned before, it's more profitable than flying domestic. What's the bump up that gives you? What's the kind of headroom that provides you? And on the cost side, I mean, what more can you do, in terms of better utilization and so on and so forth?
Yeah. So on the revenue side, and I'll try and keep my answer brief because I could talk about revenues and costs for 2 hours here. But on the revenue side, international provides a big bump to us. As we scale the network, we're able to attract more corporate travel. That tends to be a higher yielding form of travel. So that's another bump to us. As we build scale, you're able to offer greater frequency, and with greater frequency, you get a higher share of consumers. As your brand gets known in the market, you tend to get a lot more repeat customers. Repeat customers tend to want to fly Akasa, that also come with high yield. So on the revenue side, these are just some of the items. Like I said, there are 10 more that I won't mention. On the cost side, there are 3 or 4 principal drivers. The biggest of that is scale, right? You only need one CEO for 24 aircraft. You also need only one CEO for 200 aircraft, right? In this manner, scale gives us a huge bump. International expansion, and just to put some numbers, today we are 11% of our capacity is flying internationally, right? And this is, imagine, we weren't flying internationally until the 28th of March. So international expansion is a big element of our strategy. We're already at 11%, and international flying comes at a lower cost. Fuel, for example, does not carry the same taxes internationally as they do domestically.
For more news and updates, all you need to do is follow CNBC-TV18 on all of our digital platforms.